Hello and welcome to Calisthenic Movement. My name is Alex and today's video is about the why, the influencing factors, the when and some myths relating to stretching and flexibility. So why do you have to stretch? On one hand, the stretching is used to adapt to the demands of a sport. Often a movement execution is facilitated by a good mobility. Sometimes it's even only made possible. In addition, the resistance of the antagonist of a muscle is reduced, resulting in that a higher power can be implemented. A larger amplitude of motion can increase the distances of acceleration in some sports, and thereby the final performance will be increased. In some cases, a good stretch is also necessary for a healthy posture. You can see a bad posture on athletes who have trained their chest very strong and one-sided. What are the factors that influence the mobility? On one hand, the flexibility, but also the mobility is defined by genetics. Improvements by training are only possible in this predetermined range. In addition, the mobility is determined by the interplay of various muscles. It's important that opposing muscles are well coordinated when tensing and relaxing. The momentary mobility of the athlete is also affected by the physical condition and other factors such as the time of the day and temperature of the surrounding. A warmed-up athlete is more mobile than one being cold or with sore muscles. In the morning you are also less mobile as well as at low ambient temperatures. Another question is, when should I stretch? It is important that you perform a flexibility training for a muscle not directly in front of and not directly after a workout or competition, which means the burden of this muscle. A flexibility training should always be carried out separately. Of course, it is possible to stretch the leg muscles when you have previously trained only the upper body. Finally, I want to clarify a few myths. Many believe that stretching is an injury prevention, but there have been several studies which showed that there is no correlation between the mobility and the risk of injury. Rather, it seems that an extremely high, but also an extremely low mobility rather causes injury than preventing them. Furthermore, there's the myth that stretching has a positive or negative effect on building big muscles. Both theories have not been confirmed by previous studies yet. The myth that stretching prevents muscle soreness is also wrong. Since today scientists assume that muscle soreness is caused by small microtrauma in the muscles, it can get even worse by stretching. Perhaps many also know that feeling of sore muscles after a flexibility training. This effect confirms that statement. Also, the muscle regeneration is not improved by stretching. Ultimately, even the great myth is untrue that stretching causes short-term changes in mobility. A flexibility training is always based on a long-term change in the mobility, which is also why it makes no sense to stretch right before exercising to be more flexible. There are studies which showed that stretching does not increase muscle length, but rather the pain tolerance. That would be an indication that stretching does not protect against injury, and that the short-term extension of the muscles does not occur. I hope I could have given you a little insight into the world of stretching. In the next video I explain different methods, which means how you can stretch. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Facebook. As always, I am happy about subscriptions, likes and shares. Bye, Alex.